Hey guys, it's your girl OoolalaNaj. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I aim to motivate, educate, and entertain. So if you love all things pertaining to leveling up, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can join the family. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss another video from me. And go ahead and hit that like button while you're already down there because I already know you're gonna like this video. This is just a little side note. Every time I'm about to record, I feel like dancing. Like I just want to dance. Maybe I should start another channel with me dancing. Or not. Never mind. That just scratch that. That's not going to happen. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I moved, why VA, why I moved during this pandemic. And after that little story time, we're going to do a loft tour. Yes, you're going to see the before and after of my loft. Before I bedazzled it up and afterwards you're gonna get a live video of what the loft looks like now. So if you're excited to see a wonderful transformation, then stay tuned. So let's first get into story time. So I know there's a lot of people who want to know why I moved, why VA, why so suddenly. Honestly, it really wasn't suddenly. Maybe about 5 years ago, I started to take trips down to VA. At first, it was just visiting some friends of my sister, some friends that she went to college with, and I ended up becoming friends with those very people. So it became a thing for me to go back and forth, come down here and visit maybe for homecomings or like beach week and all sorts of things. So at first I was just coming down here just to visit people and to have fun. At that time, I really wasn't taking God as serious as I take him now. But I was just feeling this little inkling, like every time I would leave Virginia, it just felt like I was leaving home. And I know I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I never felt like Jersey was home. I always said, like, I'm not gonna be a Jersey girl for forever. So fast forward 3 years, and in every relationship that I was in, I used to tell people, like, we have to move to Virginia. Like, I have to be in Virginia. It just always stayed in my heart to be in Virginia. It just felt like home to me. So I would always make plans to move down here, but it just never happened. It just wasn't time. And definitely, God did not want me to do that with those people. But anyway, I started to take it a little bit more serious when things just started happening. And I kind of felt like it was like forcing me out of New Jersey. But I was being hard-headed. I was using all of these excuses like my family needs me, or I had to finish school, or I'm comfortable where I am, and all of these things. And although I had longed to be down in Virginia because it was just this thing just pulling me down here, I still was being hard-headed, right? And that's what happens when you're not being obedient, because when you're not obedient, you start experiencing all these things that God never intended you to experience, okay? Sometimes he gotta push you, okay? Sometimes we need that little push. And that's exactly what I got, because I was really playing in God's face, okay? And I just want to sit here and encourage you today to be obedient. When God tells you something, don't let him have to tell you twice, okay? Don't let him have to tell you twice. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right now I'm actively practicing being obedient to God on the first try, okay? When you tell me something once, I just want to do it, because I have been through so many things. And I'm not saying that those things didn't help mold and shape me and give me wisdom, but it's some things that I just really didn't have to go through, okay? But anyway, it wasn't just that I was taking trips here, because I was going everywhere. I done been plenty of places. I done traveled overseas. I done been plenty of states, in the U.S. So I'm not gonna just say that it was because I was traveling back and forth. But honestly, I really grew like a soulful attachment to Virginia. So I started to pray about it, honestly. When something just doesn't leave my mind, doesn't leave my heart, I have to like pray about it, because it's a reason why it's still there. So like I said, fast forward 3 years, I started to pray about it, take it more serious. I started to try to look for jobs. And like I said, I was using excuses, so I was going back and forth. I was on the fence about it. And really wasn't like doing like the footwork for real, but I was just like, it's gonna happen, blah, blah. But fast fast forward again, last year, you know, I had experienced something at my old job. I remember people was telling me like, oh, you want to move to Virginia? You're really going to leave your state job? And I'm just like, yeah, like, I don't have any, you know, ties to any job. At this point, I'm just like, look, if God want me to do this, then I'm gonna do it. I can't be holding on to people. I can't be holding on to jobs. I can't be holding on to comfortability. Honestly, like, you can't do both, okay? You can't be comfortable and grow at the same time, okay? You got to go through them growing pains, and that's exactly what I went through. I really was about to give up moving to Virginia because I kept like coming down here for interviews, and it just wasn't fitting. Like, I was getting job offers, but it just didn't feel right. And I told God, like, look, I trust you, but like, I need to feel it, okay? I need to feel it. Like, give me clear vision, like, you know what I'm saying? Go before me in this. And he really did. Honestly, the job that I have now, I didn't even come down here for an interview. I actually did a virtual interview. And this was before like the pandemic happened. And honestly, like, it was a very competitive process. And honestly, like, I just was at my wit's end at this point. I was like, look, if it don't happen, it don't happen. And that's when I had went through a sexual harassment case with my job. I'm not gonna say who exactly had did it, but it was a verbal sexual harassment. And it was the most horrible time, honestly. Like, it was horrible going to work. I just felt like, I just never went through anything at work like that. I had a hard time going to work. I was always on edge. I was feeling so much anxiety, and it honestly brought up so many emotions from something that happened to me as a kid. And I would never have thought at 26, I mean, I'm 27 now, but at 26 last year, that I would experience something and feel something that I had felt at 12 years old. So it was something that God really wanted me to deal with before I go. Honestly, that was a horrible time for me. I was depressed. I just like, at first I was like, I had just got off a fast, right? And on the fast, I was like, God, help me find my voice, and my voice in you more specifically, right? And then boom, after the fast, that happened. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna fight this. Like, I'm gonna fight this. And I don't know if I thought I was gonna do it on my own strength, but honey, that next month after that happened, like, I was just went downhill. I was just doing things that, you know, weren't really me. I was so out of character. And honestly, like, unless you've been through a harassment situation, or if you've been violated or anything like that, like, you really won't understand, like, the different emotions that you'll go through after experiencing that. And I don't wish that on anybody. But anyway, from that, I did grow, and I did start counseling, which I recommend to anyone, even if you feel like you've never been through anything, like your life's been great. I still recommend therapy if you are in New Jersey and you need a recommendation for a therapist, then email me or hit me up on Instagram, and I will recommend a therapist for you. But anyway, I just felt like that was like the last stretch, and I just was like, you know what, it's time. So God really blew my mind. The government job that I have right now, I really, like, even though I went to college and I have a degree in criminal justice, I really don't believe that on paper I qualified for this job. But God really made a way. It was very competitive. It was a 2-month process, and God really blew my mind when he allowed me to get this job. So I'm really blessed, and I'm here now. God gave me this vision years ago, honestly. Like, when I prayed about it, he gave me this vision, and it's finally here. So let's stay tuned of what God has for me while I'm in Virginia, and keep me in prayer. And to all my friends, you know, come see me. It's like, nah, y'all know that I like being alone. I'm a homebody, so don't all come see me at once, okay? One at a time, or 2 at a time, all right? So in a nutshell, I moved down here out of obedience. God definitely made a way. When he knew I was ready, he knew what time I was going to be ready. He knew what time I was going to move. Now that we're done the story time, it is time for, drum roll please. That was so cheesy. The Lost Tour.